I got to think that this was a game that for a few minutes there was feeling a little bit like a loss, and after Ricky's shot, maybe it was feeling a little bit more like a win.
Uh, yeah, I mean it doesn't feel like anything until the end. I guess it's for me. It's when we're in the game where.
Not getting any sound.
Sorry, can we unmute?
Yeah, I got it. We're good. So I was saying is it doesn't really feel like anything really till the end. There's a stretch there where you're just trying to problem solve and you're trying to figure the best way to create some chances. We had an extraordinary amount of possession. We were moving them around. We were getting into final actions, but we weren't turning final actions into great chances as often as we would have liked. So when we give up the second goal ridiculously, we shifted a little bit into two forwards, went to a 3-5-2, just tried to push some numbers forward and tried to turn some of those possessions into some tacks. And ultimately at the end of the day, Ricky made a hell of a play, and that became the difference. But for as much of the ball and as much good movement and ball circulation, I think we should have had a few more really good looks on the goal. We shouldn't have had to score two blinders. I think we should have scored some other goals that weren't necessarily world-class goals, but world-class team goals, because I thought we were playing fantastic through large stretches of the game, both with and without the ball.
Now we've got 2 starts from Ricky and 2 exquisite plays for goals. Just in what ways is he transforming you guys?
Yeah, again, it's his mobility, it's his ability to find spaces, find gaps, play on the move, pick up the ball, kind of glide into new areas, play off of people, get the ball back. It just keeps the tempo of the game kind of flowing all the time. Obviously, he's very smart about positioning himself, when to play in one touch, when to take more touches and he just has a unique ability just to slide through spaces and either eliminate guys or get the game into a new area so that we can move the ball, right? For us, we have a lot of our midfielders are, they guys who receive and play, and he kind of takes the game into a different level just with his dribbling. So I thought he was excellent. I thought Gaston was excellent. I thought it was the best performance he's had for us. I thought he really looked the part tonight and was excellent. And I thought we had a lot of control of the game, and there was some moments where I felt like we rushed the final attack when we could have probably driven our team into their half and maybe played for a little bit better final pass. But again, very happy with the performance. I wish we would have got out of here with 3, but 1. If we'd have said we were going to take 4 on the road in the Eastern Conference, we would have been pretty happy with that.
Well, thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
Next we'll go to Nikki K.
Yeah, Greg, you spoke about the need for gritty performances coming down this final stretch, and you're coming home with those 4 points. I guess take me inside this locker room and inside your head about how you move forward and use this as another building block in your confidence.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's two really different games and 2 really different results performance-wise. Last game, it was a real just battle, physical confrontations, a lot of defending hard and hurting the opposition in the counterattack. Today we had a lot of the ball. We were able to move them around, show that other side of us, but being a little bit more killer in the final actions would help us. And look, down the stretch when you get in this playoff run, we can't make mistakes, and the penalty is a mistake. It's a challenge. It just shouldn't happen. It doesn't need to happen. Ra will know that. He knows better. But when these games are tight like this, and against 2 good teams and teams that who have guys who can make a difference, you can't give anything away. And today we did on the second one, but the determination, the togetherness that came out of this trip and the grouping, the next step of getting Gaston inserted into the team, getting Ricky into the team, those have been all positives for us on this trip, and we take it home, and now we defend our stadium and with our fans behind us. I thought the effort was great on this tour, and like I said, we got 2 very different results in 2 different ways, which you need to do down the stretch. You need to do when you're on the road. So we're going to try to take the performances and get 3 points on the weekend now.
And what did you get from Douglas Costa tonight?
Yeah, I also thought he had arguably his best game with us. Just consistent within the team. Both hard work on an attack. I thought he was very, very good on the defending side for us. Reliable. Good in possession. There's a couple times, where he knows, and he mentioned it. He tried to force some final passes where maybe we could have gotten a little bit more out of the attack with a couple more passes. But I thought his movement, his technical ability, you see his qualities can really help our group, especially when we have the possession like we did tonight. But his quality helped us in possession, as did Gaston's game, as did Ricky's game, as did Vic. Like, when you have those types of guys out there, then you want to have the ball, and tonight I felt like all of those guys had really nice nights. Again, I think the final third actions, we need to tighten those up as we keep moving forward.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Jonathan Siegel.
Hey, Greg. What was that like for you coming back to Toronto, and just what that all entailed, whether that's emotionally? Of course, travel has been hard for a while bit with COVID and such, but how's it just coming back to a place where you have so many memories?
Yeah, I was in a weird emotional place because so many people that you see, and there's so much love that goes around here, with everybody that we spent so much time with and accomplished a lot of things together. So there's a lot of really good relationships. So that gives you that emotion. And then there's that competitor, like, you come here, you want to win and you want to push your guys with the intensity, and you're trying to give that side of it, which is a completely different emotion. And so and being in the stadium again and all that. So it was a little bit of a strange emotional week for me. But again, the guys did a great job of pulling it together and doing what they need to do, which is focus on the game, and we kept them focused on the game. But for me, for sure, and I know for our staff and everything, there was obviously there's a lot that went on here, and a lot of people that we call friends, and it was good to see everybody. It was good to be in the stadium and play another game here. It's an excellent crowd. It's a wonderful place to play. So it was just a lot of emotions, really.
And just on a different note, there were some reports today of Julian being linked to Barcelona, of all places. What clarity, if any, can you offer on that front? Where might that stand?
Yeah, it doesn't stand anywhere, to my knowledge. I don't know if those conversations are real or anyone's happening. But for me, Julian is here, and he'll be finishing the season with us, and we keep moving forward. So I haven't heard anything to the contrary.
Next we'll go to John Molinaro.
Thanks. Hey, Greg, good to see you again. It's your first sort of view up front of Lorenzo Insigne and Federico Bernardeschi. Just wanted to get your take on them. Do they come as advertised in your view?
Yeah, I mean, two very good players. Insigne in the second half was right in front of me, so I had a good view of him and his ability to accelerate and get into the next line and again pick up the ball and change the speed of the game is impressive. And he was able to do that and kind of eliminate some of our guys, but on the run also just play passes. You see his qualities, and so it's just those are very good players. Obviously, we were trying to do our best to keep him from cutting inside, getting on his right foot, looking at the goal, anything to keep him as neutral as possible. But again, he has just that ability to find space, pick up the ball, and then accelerate the game. And so that was it was great to see, just from a perspective of the fan. But I thought our guys did a pretty nice job of managing the situation and dealing with them. And Bernardeschi does similar types of things. I don't think he changes the tempo of the game quite as much, but he's a very good player, and we were trying to do our best to keep him off of his left foot and making sure we were getting inside support and trying to make them make plays on their off foot. And for the most part, the guys did a nice job. But they're two very good players who are going to be impactful in the league, no doubt, and they're going to help this team, as they continue to move forward.
Thanks, Greg. Great to see you again, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Sean. Likewise.
We got time for two more questions from two different people. We'll go next to Alex.
Hey, Greg. You mentioned earlier how this team just played really good soccer, for the first 50 to 60 minutes. For you, how important is it to see what you're envisioning with this team at this late stage of the season and being able to go on a run to finish off the year and hopefully into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's, it was nice to see some of those things in terms of ball movement, being able to play against a team that would like to put some pressure on you high. We found some good spots. We were able to play at the right tempo, get into the next lines. As I said, there was a lot of good things there. When you have players like Ricky and you have Gaston and you have Victor and Ephra and players like this, you want to have the ball and you want to be on, and even Douglas, you want to have the ball and you want to be able to move the game around and make it tough for the opposition. You don't want to spend a lot of time. They're not grinding guys who want to spend a lot of time on the defensive side. So you want to have at least your fair share, if not more, of the ball. And so tonight I thought a lot of those things, at least in the build-up and moving into kind of the destabilization phase, a lot of that was very good. But we didn't do as well as I think we will as we get a little bit smoother maybe with some of these different personalities on the field together in creating the clear final actions that I thought might have been there for us with either a little more patience or just a little bit more, just an extra run or just a little bit different weight of a pass or things like that hopefully will keep growing as we move down the stretch. The other thing I would say is not every game looks like this. Some games look like the one the other day, and that was just a physical, in your face, highly competitive game, and we punished them in the transition and made them pay. And so you have to win games sometimes in different ways in this league. And tonight we got a draw and played one way with the ball so much, and the other night in a tough environment we didn't have the ball as much, but we still managed to play that way and get a win. And that's important down the stretch as you move towards the playoffs. So we'll see how hopefully when we get home it'll look a little bit more like where we have the ball and we can punish the opposition a little bit better than we did tonight.
Thank you, Greg. Safe travels.
Thanks.
And last question will go to Josh.
Hey, Greg. Just real quickly, does this feel a little bit like before the international break? Some of the consistency across multiple games. Does it feel different?
Yeah. Again, I mean, I agree with that statement. We didn't give up many chances tonight. Vanney didn't have to do a whole lot. We did a good job of protecting our box and protecting our goal. And even though they have some really high quality players, we didn't give them many good looks at all. And so I thought the defending side of things was sound. I thought there was a lot of maturity in the way just the group played. We were a little unfortunate on the first goal. We got kind of a nick on the ball that I think maybe we took it away from a clearance, but by and large, over the course of the game, I thought it was a very mature, composed, controlled performance that, again, just lacked a little bit in that final third at times. And I thought the defending was solid. Everybody from front to back I felt like communicating, was creating clarity for each other, and working through all phases of the game. And so, I felt like we were just really connected and working hard together in the last two games, everybody adding their part. And when we do that with the quality of players we have and the ideas that are on the field and what we're trying to do, we can be a very good team, no doubt. And so, again, the consistency is the key. The only thing I would take out of tonight was the challenge that turned into the penalty kick. Outside of that, everything else was, I thought, pretty good football in the grand scheme of things.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks
Good
for your time,
to see you
Greg.
all. Thanks.